What's going on, people? It's your man Jimmy V, and we are back at it for another episode of Straight Topics. And today, topic of the day is entrepreneurship, which I always do like to talk about. So I have my special guest, Dominique Lockhart, originally from Seattle, Washington, went to college in Virginia. Shout out to Hampton, which is at HBCU.
Yes,
you know
sir.
what I'm saying? He is an entrepreneur, runs his own drone business, as you guys can see in the background. That's all his work there, and that can be found as domlockaerials.com. First things first, thank you for joining me, brother.
Thank you for having me.
So we've got a funny joke because I can never get this right. It's a drone, not a droid.
Drone. D-R-O-N-E. Drone.
Got you. Okay. What made you even get into this type of stuff here, man? This gizmo.
Well, I've always had a passion for everything film related. When I went to school, I got my degree in communications.
Dope. Okay.
And I've always been very fascinated with technology as well. So,
right.
You know, the opportunity to combine technology with film, what better opportunity is this? I mean, there's cameras that exist, right? But everybody has a camera, right?
Yeah.
Not everybody has a drone. So that's where I was
Find the white space.
Yeah.
Find something everybody's not doing.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. So, saw an opportunity and I took it.
Dope. And it's actually real cool because I'm just now thinking of it. We actually worked on a project where it was a fight, and then we punched someone up, and we had the drone actually lift.
What you about to do? Nothing.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
World star.
What were the steps that you had to take to actually get into doing this here?
Well, I'd say first and foremost, you gotta pray.
Prayer. Jesus.
Prayer, yeah. Thank you. Yes, Lord. Because I think prayer, nothing's really possible without prayer.
For sure.
Even if you're not someone who believes in religion, everybody knows that there's got to be something else out there, right?
Facts.
So,
Facts.
Prayer, most importantly. Second, hard work. You got to put in the time to do what you want to do, and you got to, be dedicated because it's easy to give up. You know what I mean? There's times where I was like, I don't want to do this. This isn't working out in my favor or whatever, and I wanted to give up. But the key is you got to keep going, and if you persevere, things are going to eventually turn around in your favor.
Okay.
So,
See that? Ooh, inspirational man over here. I know I liked you, but you know what's crazy? He's actually my neighbor too.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, he lives right upstairs.
I live upstairs.
Which is actually he's bruh man from upstairs, man.
Oh, that's funny.
Is it possible to just pick one of these up and say, okay, this is my business. This is what I'm gonna do?
You could do that, but first and foremost, you're gonna want to practice, right? Because let me tell you now, if you're a drone pilot or if you're thinking about becoming one, you will crash or you have crashed. Right. Everybody has.
How do you crash?
I've crashed.
Share the story then. We gotta hear it.
Well, I have two drones. It's this one and another one that's bigger.
Okay.
I crashed this one. So I was doing real estate for a client, and their house sat on a hill. So there's I pretty much what I did was I underestimated the fact that I thought my drone could clear the trees that were sitting on this hill.
Yeah.
So it went smack down right into some trees and just tumbled to the ground. And mind you, this is behind people's backyard, so I gotta knock on people's door to go through their backyard.
Damn.
In order to get my drone.
Find it, yeah, right.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I finally
awkward.
found it. Yeah, that was weird.
Right, especially being black too. But
yeah,
that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, exactly. So luckily nothing was damaged, but the battery had just popped out of this battery comes out. So this is the only thing that popped out. Thank God.
Right.
But other than that, it was fine. But that was definitely one scare. You just, it's one thing, you as a drone pilot, you got to keep your eyes on your monitor, but you also got to watch your drone. So you have to consistently look back and forth because what you see right here may not be the scenario up there.
How long did it take for you to actually understand that?
I mean, I would say, I think I'm still learning stuff every day. So
right.
Originally, when I had my first drone, I crashed that one. It took me, 2 or 3 months. I've had this one 6-7 months and I still crashed. You know what I mean? So
Gotcha.
you just always got to be on your P's and Q's, especially when you're in airspace, because you got to think of helicopters, airplanes, birds, wires, wind, weather.
Right, yeah.
You know, so there's so much to think about that when you're up there, you just got to be, safety is your number one concern.
Are there laws within the airspace?
Oh yeah, so the FAA has laws. Pretty much the same people who provide the airplanes with laws are the same people who deal with the drones.
Right.
The biggest law for any drone pilot is you can't fly within 5 miles of an airport. So let's say I want to go to Burbank or LAX and fly near there, it won't even let me take off the ground.
Wow.
And then on top of that, another big one is you can't fly above 400 feet because any higher than that, and there's a lot of, aircraft that are in the air. So you may have a chance of colliding with one of them.
Okay, good point.
So you just got to respect the laws and just do what you got to do.
How do you know if you're above 400 feet? Like,
on the monitor, it tells you like your height
Okay.
and your altitude and everything. So
Got you.
You'll be able to see for sure.
Okay, good. As far as like, I don't know, any type of training, I remember when you first told me about this, at that time you were in school for it to get some type of certificate or something?
Yeah, I was trying to get my license.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
the certification. Yep.
Right. So did that work out?
Yeah.
I'm assuming it did, right?
It took me 2 times, but the second time I did it, I
Right.
got that mug. So here we are.
How long was the class for, the schooling of it?
It wasn't even a class. It was just you had to take a test, like a driver's test.
Okay.
But you have to study for it, right? If you don't study, you need to give yourself at least 2 weeks.
Got you.
Because it's not, you would think it would be strictly on drones.
That's what
it's
I was
about.
thinking,
Planes, like
some stupid
it's
stuff.
like you going to flight school. You gotta
Got you.
learn how to read a map. You gotta learn how weight affects the aircraft. You gotta
Right.
know how weather affects the aircraft. You gotta know all this stuff like you're flying an actual plane, but we're not even in the plane at this point. You know?
I got a funny story for you guys. When I went to get my driver's license,
Okay.
You could only get like 5 questions wrong and still pass.
Yeah.
I got 19 right. I was on the last one.
That's what happened to me.
I was on the last one, and it was a
Hey.
question about a motorcycle.
Oh.
I'm like, I'm taking my driver's
Right.
test. What does a motorcycle have to do with a Class D driver's test? And I will never forget the question. Actually, I kind of do, but it was like, how long can you have your motorcycle permit before you can get your license or something?
Oh.
And I had no idea what the answer was, so I legit was like A, B, C, D. I went with D, which was 5 years, and I'm blessed to say I got it right.
Wow.
And then I was able to pass. But it makes no sense. I guess it makes sense, but as a person, to put a question about some whole other stuff that doesn't relate to what you're trying to get is confusing on a test, man.
Bro, and it's like, why would they do that?
Exactly.
How
It's
dare
like they
you? How
want
dare
us
you?
to fail.
Exactly.
The
How
disrespect.
dare you?
This man's always working. Look at his Snapchat, Instagram. I'm sure he'll share it at the end of the show. But he's always on site with a construction vest, right?
Yeah.
Now, do they make you wear that, or is that just
That's
outfit?
just something that designates me from, I want them to make it seem like I'm part of
Business-wise, right?
Yeah, I'm here for a reason.
For sure.
Because I don't want to just pop up in regular out clothes and just fly. You might think I'm somebody that I'm not supposed to be there.
Facts.
Right?
Right,
But if you
yeah.
see me with a construction vest and a helmet with my company logo on it, you probably
Now
will
you look
assume-
official.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You're not going to be like, oh, are you supposed to be here? Or, oh, this is a private blah, 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 blah.
Right,
I'm
right,
supposed
right.
to be here. You know what I mean?
That's how you finesse the system.
Exactly.
Okay, that's right. All right.
Finesse.
How are you able to get your clientele?
Advertising. Just, a shit ton of advertising, to be honest with you. And just keeping connections with people and networking and just... when I produce a product, I want it to be perfect. You know what I mean? That leaves an impression with people.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing you can have is people, who refer you to other people. That's huge.
Right.
Referrals. You know what I mean? That makes you got 3 people who refer you to 3 other people. Boom. Now you got 6. Now you got 6.
Yeah,
So just trying to deliver the best product quality that I can, and at the same time, at least try to remain humble.
Right. Now, do they hire you to get? I'm assuming aerial footage that a normal camera wouldn't get.
Exactly. So
Okay.
let's say it varies per industry, right? So let's say for the construction, because I do construction frequently.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing right now is progress development photos. So every month I go to the same construction site or multiple construction sites and I show what it looks like, what level of building that they're at, what stage they're at.
Got you.
And then I send that off to the owners of the company, to the clients, to the developers, to everybody. There's a whole list of people I send it out to. But they love the photos because it keeps them. You see the project as a whole, looking down versus you sitting on ground level and trying to see.
Wondering what they doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Are they wasting time or are they actually working?
Exactly. Are they doing what they're supposed to be doing on the other side over there?
Or they just watching movies?
Exactly.
Over there
Right. So.
Okay, makes sense. Got you. Yeah, that's dope, man. What's the funnest project you worked with this bad boy? With this or your other one? Because I know you got two.
I guess the funnest one was I was in Puerto Rico on vacation.
Yeah.
And I had landed a client out there while I was on vacation, so we had to go film a bouncy house. Like, you ever heard of Sky
Zone?
Sky Zone. You know how you jump around the trampolines?
For sure.
Same thing, but it was called like altitude jump house, something like that.
Yeah.
But it was the same concept, and we got to film the building and go in there and fly the drone inside and bounce around while the drone is flying around.
Yeah.
I think that was pretty freaking awesome, and there were kids around, so it was like,
everybody was like, "Oh, look at the drone!"
It was pretty awesome, and I can't even lie. And the fact that I was in Puerto Rico on vacation, and I got that while I was on vacation. So it just made it 20 times better, essentially. So
you traditionally don't have the typical 9 to 5 then, huh?
Not at all.
That's what's up. I mean, I think I don't know about you guys watching at home, but my goal is I've done the 9 to 5 and I'm not trying to go back, okay? Mm-hmm. So you are your own boss.
Yes, sir.
You get to set your own schedule.
Yes, sir.
And you've got to, you pretty much run your own company, which is absolutely dope.
Thank you.
If there's anything else that you would do besides this, what would it be?
Are you talking about in terms of technology or just as another skill set?
Another skill set.
I don't know. That would be really dope is if I was a deep sea diver and I was filming with the camera down there. I think that would be hot.
Right.
But I'm scared of the ocean, so I don't know how the hell that would work, right?
Do you follow Little Duval?
Yes.
Comedian?
Yep.
Yeah, he always talks about deep sea diving and he be actually showing footage of him going deep because there's some crazy stuff down there that we don't know what's going down there.
Right. And you gotta have, you don't have to have an oxygen tank. If you have the lung capacity to do that, that would be cool too.
You could, right.
Right. Probably impossible once you get to a certain depth, but
For sure.
Yeah.
So what I actually want to do for our viewers, if we could turn this on just for a little bit.
Yeah.
Break it down, describe everything, and we can take it on from there.
Okay, well, before I turn it on, like I said, I've showed you guys, we have the batteries. These are lithium-ion batteries,
That
which means
big, bro.
Yeah. These are about $150 a pop.
Well, goddamn.
Yeah. And you can't bring these on airplanes. Well, you can, but you have to make sure that you pack them in the overhead bin and don't put them below the plane.
Don't.
Because it's lithium-ion and it has a chance to explode. Or catch fire.
Look at y'all. See, learning stuff. Okay.
Just like you can't put laptops underneath the planes and other stuff, same thing. So
just like that.
Just like that. So keep it in the plane with you. Yeah. We're gonna turn it on now.
Sure.
And you're gonna see the camera. If you can't see it, we'll start to calibrate in about 3, 2, 1.
Hey, we didn't time that either. All right, we just said that live.
So yeah, the camera is calibrating. The ICU is getting set up. And the compass and all the technical stuff is getting set up in here. Gotcha. So you have to wait maybe about 30 seconds after you turn it on for everything to stabilize.
Right.
So then what we have here is the propellers. They're about not that long, but they will hurt if you touch them. And while this thing is on, it will hurt. So make sure you keep plenty of these too, because these will come off.
Got you. Okay.
So like I said, this right here is the camera, and it's held in place. This is actually called a gimbal, and this is what holds it in place. It has its own stabilizer, so while it's in the air, it doesn't move around, and it's not all janky looking.
Yeah.
I move it right now. See how quick it goes back to the center? Perfect. Can't ask for that, especially when there's a lot of high wind. What else? Oh, okay. So yeah, we have there was a slot for the SD card. This little tiny slot right here is where you put your micro SD card to record all your footage and or photos.
Got you. Okay, makes sense.
And then on the bottom of the drone, if you can see right here, it has sensors all around here and on all sides of the drone. So let's say I want to try to run it into a building while this is on.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
It's
right.
so smart that it will not let me do that. It was so smart that it won't even let me take off near an airport.
Wow, that's dope.
Yeah.
So the technology within it knows that okay, we can't do that, so it stops itself.
Yeah, and yeah, so that's the one thing about technology is it's always growing.
The
There's always
hell?
something
This
new.
is some iRobot stuff. What?
Hey, I'm just telling you like it is, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and it also comes with its own compass inside here. So let's say we want to fly indoors, right? Which
Okay.
can happen. Usually the drone is being held in place by GPS satellites, and it'll tell you on your monitor how many satellites are locked onto it. Like it'll usually be between 10 to maybe 15 or 16 satellites. So that's what holds the drone in place.
Gotcha.
Now, when you're flying inside, obviously there are no GPS satellites because there's ceilings here. So what you can do is it has a function where if you switch it to this function, the compass it'll attempt to hold itself in place with a compass of its own. Now, granted, it may move a little bit because there's not as much stabilization as if you were outside, but you can still fly around inside and be pretty safe.
What's the average cost of a drone then?
I mean, there's different ones. You know, it all really just depends on what you want to do with it.
Yeah.
This one specifically was about $1,000, not including batteries and other stuff. So, you know, $1,000 is like the base. They have cheaper ones you can get. You know, smaller ones for like $500 if you're going to be an enthusiast. Or, you know, if you want to take it seriously, you got to probably step up into the thousands so you could at least make an impression.
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
Out of all the locations you've filmed at, as you guys can see within the background here, what was your favorite one so far?
It's a tie. I have a tie between Puerto Rico and Hawaii. I just got back from Hawaii, so
Two dope locations.
yeah. That I don't know. I was convinced to move there. I can't.
That's an
even tell you.
experience right there. How was that trip?
It was beautiful.
You say what about a week and a half? Was it?
Yep, about a week and a half. Yeah,
Okay.
it was amazing.
Yeah.
I encourage everyone who hasn't gone to go.
Hey, that's one of my goals for 20. Actually, yeah, I'm speaking into existence. 2018, we hitting Hawaii, man. That's what's up. I'm gonna ask you a series of questions. Just let me know. Just answer them to the best of your ability. Okay.
No right or wrong answers, right?
No right or wrong answers, but they will judge you. No, I'm playing.
Okay. All right.
If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
I think invisibility.
Invisible, huh? You be sneaking in a girl's locker room.
I mean, I ain't say he said that.
Nah, we know what
So,
you're thinking out there.
You know, you could like rob. Not saying that I would, but hypothetically, saying hypothetically,
If I did,
rob
could be
banks.
invisible,
Put some
run
in
up
your
in some
pockets.
banks and fill up my pockets.
You know, hypothetically speaking, of course.
What is your favorite cereal of all time?
Tricks.
Tricks?
Gotta have those tricks.
Okay.
Fucking
okay.
rabbit. I love those tricks.
That damn rabbit.
Damn rabbit.
If you could remake any movie and star in it, what would it be?
Okay. Have you seen, it's a movie starring Dave Chappelle. It's called Half Baked.
Of course I see that.
That's the
What?
movie I would star in.
Yeah.
That would be the movie. It would have to be all the movies in the world. It would be that one.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good ass answer. What's the first thing you do when you get up in the morning?
First thing I do, I get up and pretty generic answer. I get up and brush my teeth, I guess.
Oh,
or I
oh.
get up and take a fat shit. So,
Okay. Oh,
you know,
okay,
it's
makes
up to
sense.
you guys. Whatever
Okay.
you want to hear.
All right, so now finish the sentence, okay?
Okay.
If I could work with anyone dead or alive, I would work with.
Tupac.
Good answer. If I look for blank in a partner.
Trust.
If I wasn't a boss, I'd be a.
What the fuck? If I wasn't a boss, I'd be a CEO.
Wow, I had a guest on yesterday, and they said the same exact answer. Wow, that
I'm not about to say no henchman.
that is
Fuck
funny.
that. Forget that.
My name is Dominique, and I am a.
Drone pilot.
And there it goes, man. I want to thank my boy Don for coming on the show. Of course, let them know where they can find you, and of course, if they want to hire you, where they can go.
Hey, okay, well, my website is domlockaerials.com. I'm also findable on Facebook at domlockaerials. There's a page there. We even have an Instagram. It's my personal Instagram, but I post a lot of my content on there. It's _ Dom Lock. So, yeah, you want to get some footage, holla at me. I got you.
Dope. Hey, my peoples are good. I vouch for them. All right.
Yeah, he's a vouch. We did that video.
Hey, right, exactly.
It was high.
And of course, I am your host, Jimmy V, man. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Be Your Own Dad. If you guys don't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Jimmy V, and support the blog. Follow it, beyourowndad.blogspot.com. This is another episode of Straight Topics. Catch you next time.